Hello and welcome back to the channel, and today we've got a 2022 Citroen C3. This particular model is in Sense trim and it's in spring blue metallic paint. So the Citroen C3 is a compact hatchback that rivals cars such as the VW Polo, Ford Fiesta, but the C3 stands out with the kind of design details, quirky styling, and we've even got the air bumps that Citroen are famous for in this particular model. Starting with the front end, I quite like the fact that the C3 is a little bit boxy looking, quite utilitarian, a bit like the Fiat Panda, and it almost has some crossover vibes just with the kind of plastic cladding around the wheel arches. The split headlights I quite like. We've got Citroen LED vision down below, and if anybody's wondering, it looks like VW i7 has stolen the design language from Citroen. Throughout the car we're going to see this kind of cuboid rectangular theme continuing out the cabin and through the side of the car. As you can see, we've got it on the grille. An extent we've got it in the front headlights, and it continues on the plastic panels along the side of the car. And coincidentally, these actually help reduce door dings, so if the door opens in a car park, it's going to hit that instead of the nice metal paintwork. So part of the customisation you get with the C3, you can get things like coloured roofs. This particular one's fitted with the Onyx Black roof. That's a £300 option. You can get it in other colours. Metallic paint, I believe there's over 70 colour options from Citroen. As I mentioned, this one is the spring blue metallic paint. That's £545 extra. And with regards to engines on the C3, they either come with a 1.2 3-cylinder petrol, Puretech in Citroen language, which is about 82 brake horsepower, or a turbocharged one which is over 100 horsepower. Today's model is the 1.2 3-cylinder with the 83 brake horsepower and the stop-start technology. So have a quick look inside the C3. As you can see, we've got that promised cube theme continuing throughout the cabin. We've got it on the air vents. We've got this 7-inch screen that comes across most of the C3 range, and I've got the key here. Switchblade, quite nice solid key. You can get that foot in the brake, start the car up. So many of the cool features in here are kind of quirky design elements that Citroen have incorporated. Things like the handle to get in and out the car reminds me of like a luggage strap handle, something like that. So this is the Sense trim, so we do have electric windows up front, manual in the rear. Higher trim models do come with electric. So down here is where your wing mirror controls are. You can adjust left and right, and you turn it all the way down to fold them in. And here you've got some blank buttons and your child lock. And on the steering wheel we've got your volume control and all that on the left. On the right hand side you've got your calls. You can scroll through the little screen. We have cruise control on the left hand side of the stock. It's a very Citroen kind of thing to have down here, and as you can appreciate, the indicators and that on the left there as well. The dials themselves, pretty clear, nice easy to read. Gauges, they're kind of white lit in the tachometer, and as you can see, even in the speed, the kilometres are in red, so if you're travelling to the continent you do have that. Fuel gauge at the top, temperature gauge, and you've got this little readout here. Very easy to read and quite clear, and again we've got that rectangle theme continuing front in the driver. Overall build quality in this C3 isn't too bad. I said you're not going to be winning any awards for nice, soft, comfortable, squishy plastics. Everything is quite hard and scratchy. However, it does feel well screwed together. No, I can't knock it for that. It wouldn't be a Cars of Glasgow video without a glove box video, and as you can probably see, it's not softly damped or aligned with the fuzzy stuff, and the French have put the fuse box there, so your capacity is kind of halved, which is a bit of a shame. But you still have a glove box, which is not too bad. You can get different textures, different styles and patterns and colours on the C3, but this particular one, as you can see, it's kind of got this grey fabric with a darker charcoal grey up the top, and you've got a little bit of nice yellow stitching just to kind of break up the colour. As I said, I have seen this online. You can get this kind of like tan, this could be cream, you can even get bolder colours if you wish. So there's a lot you can do, and the option list is quite extensive to configure your own C3. What's also quite nice is the fact you've got a manual handbrake, so you can impress your friends with handbrake turns. We have a 5-speed manual in this car, but also available is an automatic, and there's also a diesel available for anybody who wants an oil burner. If I have a quick look at this screen, most of the controls are all controlled through this screen. So you've got your radio, Sat nav is an option on all the C3s. I think maybe the top one might have it. Down here is your climate control. You can control where your fan airspeed's going to go, your temperature, and it's pretty responsive. Telephone on the right, Android Auto and Apple CarPlay are standard on this. And you've got things here you can turn on off, lane departure warning, you can turn that on and off. You've got your stop start, all this kind of good stuff. Down below you've got things you might use in the dead of winter. You've got your defrost, rear defrost, hazard, door lock. This is a volume knob here, you can turn radio on and off. Capital. And then down here you can keep your sunglasses, or just put anything, knickknacks, things like that. And then down below that we've got a USB charger, 12 volt power outlet that this currently is powering the dash cam. And then down here we've got very small cup holders, so you can maybe hold small cans of juice, something like that. And there's a little area in front of that again that you can maybe put in coins or other little bits. So have a quick look inside the back of the C3. As you can see, we've got seating for free. We've got 3 seat belts across, and the outer seats have child seat anchors, which is nice and handy. I've also realised on the C3 we've got these little zips running down each of the seats. So if you do spill something on the seats, you can take them off and put them in the washing machine to clean them. That's a nice little feature. On door card here, we've got the QB theme continuing throughout the car. I also like the fact down in the door pocket it's all kind of white, so you can see stuff that you might have lost, like coins or children's pens or something, I don't know. Whatever you might have lost, it's nice and white so you can actually see it. And we do have a nice manual winder, which is not everything you see in 2022. I'll jump in the back. So you join me inside the back of the Citroen C3. This particular model doesn't have the sunroof. So I'm 5'11" and I've got reasonable headroom. The passenger seat in the front of this car is a wee bit further back than it probably needs to be, but legroom is not terrible. Shoulder room's not bad. You could probably get 2 adults here comfortably. Maybe 3 children. I'll jump in the back middle for viewing pleasure. As you can see, we've got a little bit of a transmission hump here, a little bit of a cup holder for one of the passengers in the back, but you could take your friend somewhere in this. But yeah, probably 3 children, 2 adults, comfortably. Quite impressed with the kind of boxy shape. I have noticed there is no kind of map pocket, what I would call it, around the back of the seat, so you can't really store anything there like maps or iPads and things like that. But overall, nice boxy glass house, so children should be able to travel in the back of the car without feeling too sick. The materials in the back of the car as well aren't actually as bad as you would think. A little bit scratchy, however, considering the price point of the car markets in, it rivals things, as you know, like the Ford Fiesta, Volkswagen Polo. The lower end C3s are going to compete with things like Dacia Sandero, so it's actually not too bad. And I like the fact there's a little bit of design detail going in the back of the car as well as the front. So one minor gripe we have with the C3 is you've got the key to unlock it, and then you put your little fuel filler cap on this little clip there. As you can see, if you can imagine having your fuel pump there, that's shaking about, and this doesn't centrally lock with the car. So a quick look at the boot in the C3, a rubberised bit underneath there, and we've got one of the largest boots in class with 300 litres of boot space. As you can see, it's very boxy shape, very useful. Got a little bit of lip there, and then under here is where you've got all your spare tyre kind of space where you can put all your gizmos if you get a flat tyre. I like the fact we've got a solid parcel shelf, as you can see, very rigid, and you can actually put things on it. And we've also got 40-60 split rear seats that you can do hardly with one hand, but you can fold them down from the boot, so if you're doing longer trips, like so. So that's the boot. So I just want to say thanks very much for watching this video on the Citroen C3. If you like this video, please give me a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel below, and I'll see you next video. Ciao. The one annoying kind of French build Citroen thing is a car with less than 1,000 miles, when you open the door, it's catching in the front fender. don't really want to do it again, but it's kind of stripping away the paint down here, which is a shame because it's pretty much a brand new car, a couple months old, less than 1,000 miles, but it's going to get fixed under warranty for any viewers concerned.